Hello, gorgeous souls, and welcome to this video on the solar eclipse happening in Libra on October the 2nd. So, this is wrapping up an 18-month cycle of where we've had the South Node in Libra and the North Node in Aries. So, this South Node in Libra has been working in a certain area of your life as a cleansing and a clearing of what no longer serves you. And I'm going to dive into what some of those themes are likely to be based on this nodal placement. And it's also representing a new beginning. It's happening on the South Node, which is a releasing and letting go, but the new moon represents a new chapter. So we have a lot of goodness to dive into today. Let me take a moment to welcome anyone who is new here. My name is Kara, and in these videos, I'm looking at the astrology. We're diving in depth into the astrology, the cosmic shifts, but I'm also sharing channel guidance from the Akashic Records to help you work with this energy in the highest timeline possible for the impact you're here to make on the planet, the abundance you are here to receive, and the joy and freedom that you get to experience. So if this resonates, be sure that you subscribe and say hi below so I can say hi back. And if you do get benefit from today's video, please share it so others can benefit as well. So let's begin by taking a deeper look at eclipse season since it's reaching its peak with this energy. And eclipses have a way of transforming our life. Throughout this eclipse period, you may have felt like you were on a little bit of a roller coaster of feeling some really amazing things, building momentum, taking off, and then moments of questioning the direction you're going next. And this is because this is the what makes eclipses so powerful from an astrological perspective is they're happening on the nodal axes. The nodal axes governs our destiny, our karmic path, our purpose. So when we incarnate into this earthly experience, our soul has certain intentions for what we are here to contribute and to learn and experience. And when eclipses come along, if we aren't aligned to our soul's path, we become hyper aware of that. And this is where we can see certain things falling away that just aren't aligned, or we can feel kind of this sense within us that it's time to make some changes in our life. And there's a lot of cosmic support backing you up in making those changes during this time. And if we're willing to be honest with ourselves about what isn't aligned, where we are not aligned with our values and what we are here to do, we can create incredible change and transformation and come out on the other side feeling more clear about what we are here to do and what's next. So let's dive in and take a closer look at the chart here. I will share my screen so you have the visual. We have the new moon eclipse happening at 10 degrees of Libra. And as you can see, we have Lilith close by and Mercury. I usually don't work with Lilith, but I do work with Lilith, but I usually don't talk too much about it in these videos. For this one, I was really called to take a deeper look because it is so, like, I mean, it's 10 degrees. So it's conjuncting this new moon energy. And I feel like it's playing a very significant role in our understanding of this eclipse energy. So, the first thing I want to dive into here is understanding the Libra archetype. And again, we are wrapping up a 18-month cycle of where we've had the South Node moving through Libra. So, wherever this is falling in your birth chart is an area where you've been letting go and releasing. And this reminds me as well, if you want support in working with these eclipse energies and just understanding how they're interacting with your unique birth chart, I created a 3-part video series called Eclipse Evolution. I didn't think I'd be continuing to offer it this long, but people are getting like huge benefits. I'm still receiving messages of people just getting like aha moments, deeper clarity on what they're navigating, clarity on like the next steps their soul is here to take, decisions they're meant to make. So anyway, it's still open if you want access to it. I'll pop it in the comments. It'll help you understand where these exact energies are happening for you. And then we do clearings and activations in the Akashic Records. So it's not just information, but we're working with the energy in your records to create the necessary shifts as well. So, Libra, what does Libra represent? Libra is very closely connected to the relationships in our life. Libra is also connected to harmony, to fairness, to justice. It is represented by the scales. So, it also brings in this element of balance in our life. So, during this cycle, we are really, these past 18 months coming to a peak in this energy. We are looking at the nature of the relationships in our life and the dynamic that's happening within those relationships, and where we may need to put up a stronger boundary, where we are sacrificing to the point of losing a sense of self. Libra in the shadow wants to keep the peace and harmony above all else, to the point that it'll sacrifice who they are and what they need. So we also want to be aware of those shadow aspects in this energy of where we may have lost a sense of self, or where we have wanted to keep peace and harmony in situations, so much so that it actually came at a cost to what we need. And remember, your needs deserve to be met as well. And this question of balance, Libra is really interesting because it's always seeking this balance. It doesn't mean it has mastered it. And I think this is kind of in our own personal life. Balance isn't about having every area of our life feel completely balanced. I don't know that that's really possible. I think it's more about what is a priority during the current season and cycle we are in. Where does our attention need to go? And it's kind of about bringing like a greater balance overall to our life. So, for instance, if we have maybe neglected our relationships and we're recognizing, like, ooh, this has suffered, because any area in our life where we pour attention into, we're going to see that area grow. Not if we're pouring worry into it, but if we're working on an area in our life with the intention to have it bloom and blossom and grow, and we're willing to put our focus there, our action there, our attention there, you're going to see results. But that could come at a cost. So there could be another area of your life that you neglected in the process. And this energy here could be like, look at that, look at this, look at your relationships a little more, look at your health a little bit more, look at self-care a little bit more. Like, what this is different for each of us, but it's really important to look at what area needs to be addressed to bring about a greater sense of harmony and balance in your life. Now, another really interesting thing to look at, so an astrologer I've learned so much from is Raquel Spring, and she has really taught me to look at cycles within cycles. So I've gotten really good at doing that in personal readings and sessions with people, and I really want to bring this through today as well. So the last time we had an eclipse in this area was in 2005, 19 years ago. So look back, if you like, 19 years ago, what was unfolding in your life? You're likely to see similar themes happening now. Doesn't mean all the details are going to be the same, but the overarching themes are likely to be the same. So for instance, especially where we're working with the South Node in Libra and the North Node over here in Aries, this could have been certain relationships at that time in your life that were falling away. Certain friendships ended, maybe even romantic partnerships that were coming to an end during this time. This could have been a season in your life where you were really asked to cultivate a sense of confidence and courage. With the North Node in Aries, there may have been things that were coming up in your life where you were asked to be really strong, really confident, really courageous, and to really kind of look at like who you are in this next chapter of your life. So there could have been relationships that were coming to an end, and now you had to look at, okay, who am I now? What is next? Other themes around this Libra energy, it could have been a time where you were feeling like your life was a little bit out of balance, and you had to look at, what am I really prioritizing right now? Have I lost a sense of self? Am I in any unhealthy codependent dynamics or relationships? So take a look. What were the themes 19 years ago? Do you see some of those themes re-emerging? Maybe different places, different faces, but some of those core themes about tapping into your inner courage, strengthening up boundaries in relationships, perhaps leaving some relationships behind, but having other significant relationships come into your life. I'd be curious here in the comments if you're noticing like similar themes emerging. Astrology is so helpful for that, just seeing like the cycles and seasons that we navigate and how they come back around, but in a slightly new way. But again, similar overarching themes. So Lilith here. Lilith is the wild goddess energy. It can be connected to the shadow. And I like this placement in Libra here because it's kind of shaking things up a little bit. So, as I was saying with the Libra archetype, it really wants to keep peace and harmony above all else. But Lilith here understands that having a diverse perspective or having challenges in a relationship is actually not a bad thing. And sometimes it's actually necessary for incredible growth to occur. So Lilith here is bringing a little twist to this energy, and it can definitely help connect us more fully to our intuition as well. And to dig a little deeper beyond like the facade and in our relationships, and this could be the relationship with ourselves, and really get to the heart of like the connection that we're craving with the people around us and the conversations, Libra, conversations we are having. Can we go a little deeper? And what if it's okay to like disagree? What if it's okay to navigate those challenges? Because again, bigger picture, it brings about growth and a greater sense of balance overall. We also have Mercury just 1 degree away from this new moon energy. So it's very close to this new moon and this eclipse energy, very close. So Mercury in Libra is very strong. Mercury loves being in air signs because air signs are very good at communicating and tapping into new possibilities and ideas. And Mercury is the communication planet. So it's strong in Libra. It's not as strong when it's so close to the sun. So this can be where we kind of get too much in our head or our mind, and we can kind of feel like we're going in circles and we're in this energy of indecision. So the message I'm hearing from the records around this is remember that indecision is actually a decision. If we're choosing not to decide, we're choosing something. So to be very aware of where that may be playing out in your life, where you haven't made a decision, but in fact you have, because in choosing not to decide, it's taking you down a certain path and it has certain consequences and essentially is a decision in and of itself. The other message that dropped in from the records around this energy, with Mercury so close to the sun and moon and happening in the sign of Libra, the relationship sign, is you could have someone come into your life at this time that brings a new perspective or that sees a solution you overlooked. Because Mercury close to the sun can be blind spots, and we all have blind spots. This is why I'm such a huge fan. One of the many reasons why I'm such a big advocate for coaching and mentorship is someone can come in from the outside and so clearly see an idea, solution, possibility that we did not see. Because we all have our own blind spots. We just can't see what we can't see. We get so caught in our world and the lens in which we see the world through that we often don't see like the opportunities or the ideas or the solutions that are right there that someone can see. This can even be in your friendships as well. Maybe you've probably had this experience of like having a conversation with a friend that was telling you about a challenge or simply describing an experience, and you come in and you see it in a new way and they're like, oh wow, that's so cool, like aha moment, I love that perspective. And it reminds me of that quote, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. I don't know who originally said that. I know I've heard Dr. Dyer. I know I've heard that quote attributed to Dr. Dyer many times, and I really love it, like, because it's true. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And I feel that really speaks to this energy here. Change in perspective is everything. I never understand when people downplay the importance of mindset work, because in my opinion, like, we're not going to outperform our belief system or our mindset. Like, good luck. But we can alter our mindset. We can change our beliefs. We can look through a new lens. And when we do, we see possibilities and solutions that previously were right there, but we didn't see. We just couldn't see it. We couldn't access it. So I kind of get that sense with this energy that it's a reminder with this Libra energy that we're all co-creating together, and we're not meant to figure it all out on our own. And ask for help, have conversations that are life-giving. And not only are other people this for you, like they bring in ideas, they see blind spots, you're doing the same for other people when you bring in your perspective, a fresh perspective, a new idea. I think there's going to be, a lot of those interesting conversations happening in this energy. So if we look a little more, we have at some of the aspects occurring. We have a square happening here with Mars in Cancer. Squares in astrology can be a point of tension. Mars is in Cancer for a while because of its retrograde, so it's going to have an extended stay here. And Mars in Cancer, Cancer is a cardinal sign, so it is about initiation and it is about action. But in Cancer, it's going to be cautious, intentional action. It's going to be a little more cautious about where that energy is given. And instead of just moving into things before kind of checking in and feeling safe, like it's not for that. It's all for action and momentum, but it's very instinctually, intuitively led. So the square formation here can really maybe speak to like something in your life where instinctively you're called to move, you're called to take action, but maybe in your mind you're not clear on what all the details are, the next steps. And again, this is where I feel like having engaging conversations, asking for support, asking for help can bring in those new ideas. And the reminder to really like trust your intuition and your instincts and where they're guiding you in life, and that you don't want to spend too much time in the pros and cons, right? Speaking of the scales in Libra, it can go back and forth, weighing the pros and the cons. And not that there isn't a place for that. There can be a place for that in our life, especially when we're speaking of Libra energy, but not if it's causing us to go in circles or feeling really frustrated. Like we want to begin to move forward, have that forward momentum happening. And so if you are feeling kind of stuck, ask again. I know I keep going back to this, but ask for that support, ask for that help, engage in conversations that can move things forward instead of conversations that keep you kind of stuck or stagnant. So the ruler of this solar eclipse is Venus, our goddess of love, beauty, and prosperity. We really see that energy being infused in Libra. Venus rules Libra. And just a fun little fact here, um, or something I've observed, I should say, something I've observed from doing readings a long time and having a lot of Libras in my life. And my birth chart, Libra is right on my descendant. And my south node is in Libra, so I know this energy well. But I've noticed a lot of Libras have this thing with like fashion, like they're very into fashion and decorating in their hair. They tend to change like hair color a lot. And it's that expression, right? The Venusian energy of beauty and expression through decor and fashion and hair and how we look. So just a fun little side note. So Venus does rule over this new moon. And it's currently placed in Scorpio, which again brings in this wild goddess energy, which is another reason I wanted to look at Lilith. Lilith to me represents like that wild goddess, and so does Scorpio, and Venus is in Scorpio. So I feel like there's a lot of depth to this new moon. Like there's a lot happening internally, a lot of shifts, a lot of changes, a lot changing within you in terms of your self-expression. And we see Venus forming the most beautiful grand water trines. I'm just outlining this here. This grand water trine, this flow of energy is so beautiful. So beautiful. And it can support us in connecting more fully to our emotions, digging a little deeper to ask what it is we truly value, what we truly want in life, and having the courage to pivot if we have been off track. I think it's a reminder as well to be in that energy of like surrender and go with the flow if we find we're getting too stuck in our mind or in our head, like to lean in and like trust our heart, be willing to pivot as well. Certainly an energy here of creating that change, because we have Venus in the fixed sign of Scorpio, but then we have Mars in Cancer, which is the cardinal energy, and Saturn in Pisces, the mutable energy. So there's something about bringing movement to a situation that maybe you felt stuck in for a while, an area of your life that has felt stagnant. But remember, this doesn't just happen. We are co-creators, so we have to make a new decision. We have to take a new action if we want a different result in our life. And Libra is also cardinal energy. So We have a lot of that right now of like make a move, do something different. If you're doing the same thing, you're getting the same results. If you want a different result, you better start taking different actions, making different decisions, seeing things in a new way. But as you do, this energy here is like things will flow, things will begin to move. So beautiful energies there with that grand chine. I really, really love that. So yeah, this is the main energies at play here, the Scorpio or this Libra new moon. I would love to hear from you below. Are you noticing any of those themes coming up? Remember that 19-year cycle, themes happening 19 years ago. Do you see a reoccurrence of some of those main themes? Also, because this is a new moon, where are you now going? What are your intentions as you move forward into this new chapter, this new season of your life? What do you desire to create? So just a reminder below, I'm going to post the link to Eclipse Evolution if you want support in manifesting with these energies, creating change in your life. I know there's a lot out there around. Some people say don't manifest during eclipses. We're always manifesting, we're always creating, and in fact, in the eclipse phase, we have a chance to really align to like our higher self and our soul intention. And as we do that, we can really actually own our full manifesting powers in this energy because we understand it really is more about a co-creative dance with what our soul wants to experience and where our higher self is guiding us. So I'll attach that below. Also, some other really helpful links for you as well. And just sending so much love to you as we wrap up this eclipse portal, this eclipse cycle, and head into the remainder of the year in an entirely different energy. This is a beautiful reset. All right, I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.